Hello, my name is Edward Lebeduk and I am a sales engineer from InterSystems International Corporation, and today I bring you a very special guest, my really so Ludmila Valerko is CEO and co-founder of Kano software company, which has a lot of experience in the areas of data management, building big information systems. And today she will tell you about her past struggles with disorganized data and questionable business practices and questionable ideas on data management, and how she and her team solved them in the past and how they solve it now. So hopefully it could be a productive discussion today. As I have said before, you can ask questions using the GoToWebinar application on the right. It's not a very big window where you can ask questions, but it's there. Don't miss it. And without further ado, I'd like to pass the mic to Ludmila.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here today. And today I'm going to discuss some master data management scopes and present to you our master data management product. It is fully based and built on top of InterSystems data platform. So let's start our trip for today. During our next 30 minutes, I'm going to talk about just three things. First, what is really meant by master data management and how can we manage data assets of the digital enterprise. Second, I will tell you why we decided to develop CanMDM. I will give you some examples of our customer stories. Third, when we finish with slides, I will give you a simple demo of a real product, so you will see how it looks like and what can be done with it. So with this, let me begin. First, let's talk a little about digital enterprises. Digitalization is the use of digital technologies to change a business model and provide new revenue and value-producing opportunities. Today, digital transformation is critical for all companies, public and private, and it is also trending for government. What do all successful modern organizations have in common? They can manage their data efficiently and effectively. It's all about competition. Competition in the digital economy is about who does better use of the data. This is not that we have invented. This is a quote from Gartner. Data is a key accelerant of digital transformation effort. Yet today, fewer than 50% of documented corporate strategies mention data as a fundamental component for delivering enterprise value. That is about data in general, and of course it includes master data and big data the modern organization collect and process during their work. Here, I would like to make two statements. First, without master data management in place, company can't be transformed into digital enterprises. Second, as a conclusion, without transformation to digital enterprises, the company will probably not survive in the long term. And the main asset is knowledge. It is separate from data, and here is why. Many businesses today, especially global enterprises, have hundreds of separate applications and systems such as ERP, CRM, and other systems with a lot of data flowing through organization. Data is fragmented, a single record split across separate systems. Business face basic questions such as who are our most profitable customer, what products have the best margins, what profit we might expect at the end of the year. It becomes tough to answer, or at least answer with any degree of accuracy. A lot of data doesn't mean knowledge. Whenever I'm giving a talk about data management, I ask my audience, are you satisfied with the quality of your data? The answer usually is sounding no. How could you trust your data? An incorrect data, for example, address in the customer catalog, might mean orders, billing, and marketing materials are all sent to the wrong customer. The same customer may have different names, addresses, and phone numbers in different databases. Normal databases, join, and searches will not be able to resolve these issues. We need a specific tool that understands alternate spelling and typing errors or detect incorrect input. The tool that also has to recognize that different name variations can be matched if they all live at the same address or have the same phone number, for example. And the master data management is a technology that solves this problem. This is how Gartner defines master data management. So master data management is an important step towards digital enterprise. Digital transformation is the integration of digital technology into all areas of business, fundamentally changing how you operate and deliver value to customers. It is also a cultural change that requires organizations to continually challenge the status quo, experiments, and search for the best way forward. And how we decided to create CanMDM? Our team has long experience with InterSystems technologies. During last 70 years, we implemented several national scale projects based on InterSystem platform. In particular, when we were building document management systems, we faced with the fact that in the branch office of the organization, the same data was defined and used differently. It happens independently whenever it was centralized or decentralized company hierarchy. We had to create custom solution to unify the data of enterprises from different sources. During the implementation of government projects in different countries, we also faced problems with the presentation of data to the central authorities to make important administrative decisions. We implemented standalone MDM models. Somewhere it was the quality of data, somewhere the data mapping, and of course the approval workflows and integration. That's why we decided to develop our master data management solution to implement projects of any complexity in any industry. We define MDM as an effort made by an entire organization to create one single master reference source for all critical business data, leading to fewer errors and less redundancy in business processes. Let me explain, based on the real-life cases, what are opportunities that can be pursued with CanMDM. The first use case is the clinical diagnostic laboratory. It is a group of companies operating with 40+ cities in 24/7. They receive huge amount of blood and other biomaterial testing, 20 million a year if I'm not mistaken. Most of the processes are fully or partially automated, and there are huge amount of data. Nowadays, they are clearly going digital. The most of the effort in their IT strategy are now spent on improving the quality of their systems and therefore improving manageability and efficiency. With this strategy, last year they started the process of replacing several key existing applications with new generation software. For example, they decided to replace 2 list solutions. They are also implementing new CRM system, new customer portal. All such projects are going at the same time. Of course, they immediately faced a huge problem. How to ensure that all case systems are sharing the same nomenclature and the data element in one system is matching the same data element in another system? how to align all different codes and characteristics in all software products, that no mistakes are made when you synchronize, integrate, and update your data in all systems. How to make this action not on occasion, but as a continuous strategy and non-stop process to ensure the quality of data. And finally, how to ensure business agility in such a real-life scenario. The answer to all these questions comes with master data management concept, when one of the systems in the company, in this case it was CAN-MDM, becomes responsible to support the actual and only version of the truth of a particular data record. Most applications will use CAN-MDM web service to exchange master data. Some applications will be connected using InterSystems integration adapters. We're implementing data stewardship processes using pre-built CAN-MDM processes. It is absolutely critical to ensure 100% business agility, being able to transform on the fly. That's why they decided to use MDM solution on the way to digital enterprise. The second use case I'm going to talk about is the gas distribution company. This company operates more than 20 regional gas distribution pipeline networks and sells gas to both companies and people. CAN-MDM is used to manage 50 catalogs and distribute these catalogs across all applications, such as billing system, CRM, geoinformation system, and others, deploying in the headquarters and in the 26 branches. In this project, the process of keeping master data actual and relevant is using publish-subscribe mechanism. Target applications are subscribed to changes in the whole catalogs or records. Most applications in this company are connected to each other via RabbitMQ messaging. So CAN-MDM is using community InterSystem Iris adapter to connect to RabbitMQ. Their strategy is to rely heavily on their internal IT staff to implement MDM solution using our product. In this scenario, IT specialists, after initial training, can connect the applications to CAN-MDM themselves without any development efforts. It's crucial for the project as instances of applications are deployed in headquarters and 26 branches. Being geographically distributed brings unique challenge for them. It was transferring huge amount of data every night and being a day behind. With CAN-MDM, they are moving to real-time data change propagation, and they are going it themselves. Now let me describe some of the important features of our product. Firstly, CAN-MDM is a multi-domain system. It means that you can set up and work with master data in various domains, including set up a relationship between parts of various domains. Secondly, CAN-MDM provides flexible UI constructor that allows you to build a visual representation of your data, but you can use automatically generated views. All of your data can be localized into several languages. We support not only multi-language UI, but also multi-language data. We support initial loading, synchronization, and integration components that provide bidirectional data exchange with internal and external applications and data sources. Master data source system can be either CAN-MDM or any external system. CAN-MDM supports publishing and different types of subscribe flows, such as subscription by catalog, subscription by record, or subscription by key. We can leverage AI/ML technology such as Python to automatically detect duplicates in existing and new data. Our predictive models are fine-tuned to each individual customer to provide the best exact result in data matching and associated data cleansing tasks. We can define a wide range of approval processes that can be parallel or sequential. We support data and metadata changes approval processes. And for all these changes, we apply one request, one change rule. It means that each change goes through approval process. Intelligent security is implemented to provide different views for different roles. You can fine-tune user success to domains, to catalogs, individual records. Everything that user does is stored in data and metadata change log. Additionally, we support data versioning to ensure none of your data is lost or damaged. Now let's see what is under the hood of Khan MDM and what does it mean from technology point of view to deploy MDM solution for an end user. We work on Iris, Ensemble, and HealthShare. The root of MDM system is a catalog. In Khan MDM case, catalog is a class created via Web UI Designer, so you have the support of complete object-oriented model. After you define your catalog, you need to fill it with data, and for that we use extensible integration-based components. One of them is our Universal Web Service. It's automatically generated from catalog definition, so you can start integrating external system immediately. But we also support many other integration protocols. For example, in our RGC project, we developed Rabbit MQ integration, as I already said. You got your data in, and now you need to clean it. From simple things, you must set up all dates in one format. To not so simple things, all addresses in one format. To things really challenging, deciding that multiple different records are in fact just duplicates of one. We can do that data duplication using Python and machine learning. Finally, after you have cleaned your golden data, to keep it still golden, your enterprise must adopt continuous data stewardship business processes. Customizable interoperability business processes allow us to formalize any data flow. How do you know that your data stewardship processes are working? You can look at the interactive dashboards based on InterSystems analytics and custom XGS UI. They allow you a peek into the working of your enterprise. Okay, now I'm nearly finished with the slides. Let us see a real product demo. I will show you some features of Khan MDM. You will see how easy it is to start working with our product. During the demo, we will create and manage a simple dictionary. Then we will configure integration. We are going to use Universal SOAP Web Service for this case. Then we will see the integration process and the data stewardship workflow. And in 50 minutes, we are done and ready for questions. So let's start our demonstration. As I said, the first we are going to create a simple dictionary. For example, I will call it healthcare system type. Then we are going to configure dictionary view and access management. So let's start with the demo. Here you can see the Khan MDM. I need to log in with admin. Here you can see the modules of the system, some settings, configurations, integration parts, and we need to start from settings. We are going to settings, dictionaries, and we are going to create new dictionary. I need to set the system name for our dictionary. It will be healthcare system type, for example. I need to fill the display name. It will be the same. Then I need to choose a type of the dictionary. It could be custom, simple, or hierarchical. When we're choosing the type of the dictionary, some properties will be created automatically. In our case, I'm going to create a simple dictionary. I need to choose a package for this dictionary. And I can fill the description. It can be filled in different languages. Here you can see the multi-language field. And after saving this dictionary, you can see that 3 of the properties were created automatically. We can also add some more other properties using button create in properties. The type for the property can be simple, such as string, integer, data, float, but it can also be the reference to another dictionary, or it could be some complex types for the data. So after we create the dictionary, we need to create a folder for this dictionary. I'm going to settings, folders, and creating the folder for this dictionary. System name, display name, description for this folder. I need to choose a folder type. For example, it can be container, for dictionary, for documents. I'm going to choose for dictionaries. I need to choose a parent folder if I want it to be inside of, for example, dictionaries. I can choose the icon. I need to choose our class name for our dictionary and the folder view. As you see, I did nothing to create folder view. It was created automatically at the moment when we create the dictionary. And now I'm just choosing this view. I want to have a button create in this folder and apply it. After we created the folder, we need to set the permissions for our folder and our dictionary. I'm going to administration tool, access management, folders, and let's see our folder. We need to set the roles for whom this folder will be available for reading. For example, administrator, initiator, manager, expert, and confirm it. And I want only administrator can create in this folder and apply it. After I configure folder, I need to configure our document type. We need to find our health share system type dictionary. And here I can set the permissions for the records after they will be created in this dictionary. I need to choose, for example, administrator, initiator, and others, and other roles. And then I need to set the permissions. For example, I want administrator to have all permissions, initiator read and write, but not delete, and others only read, and apply it. After we created our dictionary, fill the permissions, we can see our dictionary in folder dictionaries, healthcare system type. Here you can see our dictionary, it is empty, but you can see that automatically the folder view were created and the form view also was created. Now I'm going to change the view of our form. I'm going to constructors, form, finding my healthcare system type dictionary, and work with the view. For example, I want the property code to be on the first line on the first position, and then I want the property name to be also on the first line in the second position. We can do it required or read-only or hidden, or we can fix the width of this field. But I will do only these changes. Here I can preview my changes and apply it. And I also can make changes for grid, for example, healthcare system type grid. Here are my fields. For example, I want my code to be hideable field and apply it. Now I'm going back to my healthcare system, and I can see that now I can hide system name or show it, and my form has another view, two of the properties on the same line. And here I'd like to mention that automatically the history tab was created with data log and historical data. We will get back to this a little bit later, and I will show you the changes there. After we created our dictionary, we need to do configuration for our integration part. Let's see this slide. What are we going to do with on the step of the integration? CanMDM receives data from the source system via Universal Web Service. In our case, it will be System 1 master, and then system as a subscriber for the data in CanMDM system to target will get the changes of this data. So as I said, we will use the universal CanMDM web service on the side of CanMDM, and the source system will send CRUD requests to our MDM system, and the subscriber system will get changes. So let's see the configuration of this part. I'm going to the integration part, system. I need to add two of my system. First will be system master. I need to fill the system name, interface protocol. In our case, I'm going to use SOAP Web Service on the side of CanMDM. And I need to save system ID for our demo. And then I'm going to add another one system. It will be system to target. And it also will use SOAP Web Service. I need to save ID of this system also and apply it. After that, I need to configure the integration for our dictionary. I'm creating these settings. I'm choosing my dictionary, my healthcare system type. I need to choose a source system. In our case, it will be System 1 master. The default communication type, it will be SOAP Web Service, as we already mentioned. And ID transfer type, it can be ID in external system, or it can be GUID. In our case, I'm going to use ID. Then we need to set the subscription for our second system. I'm taking our system to target, filling the subscription name, subscription type. As I said, it can be to dictionary, to conditions, or record. In our case, I'm going to take dictionary. Communication type the same, and ID transfer type, I'm also going to choose ID in external system. And save these changes, these configurations. After we created these configurations, I'm also going to fill the approval info for this dictionary. What I'm going to do, I want every change that will come from external system will go through approval process. I'm going to use the request form to apply external changes to CanMDM. So I'm choosing this option for my dictionary. After we created the configuration for our dictionary in system diagram, we can see the preview of our settings. Here you can see the system one master that goes into healthcare system type dictionary in CanMDM, and then system to target can, as a subscriber, can get changes from the external system, from the CanMDM. When we create the settings for the dictionary in the integration part, they automatically the WSDL was created automatically. So here we can see it. I need to save it. And now I'm going to use a SOAP UI product to simulate the external system. So we need to load our WSDL. Here you can see the list of different requests. And first, what we are going to do, we are going to send entity record add from our master external system. I need to fill the ID of this system. The ID of this record in the external system, for example, this one. I need to fill the code for our record, for example, this one. And I want to do, for example, this name for our system. Hospital information system with the code 1001, and let's execute this request. After we executing this request in our CanMDM, automatically were created the request form. I need to log in with the person who have permissions to start this workflow process. In the request model, you can see some folders such as new, where we're creating request forms, and the steps of the approval process: on approval, on confirmation, confirmed, refused, and executed. Let's see what we have in the folder new. Here you can see the request form that was created automatically. We can see the request type data change external. It means that these changes comes from external system. We can see the reason. We can see the entity class name, our dictionary. And here on the folder data, we can see the data that we sent to CanMDM. And we need to fill the approval info page. We need to choose the approval type. For example, it can be parallel, sequential, or only signing. I'm going to show you sequential approval process. I need to choose a signer, for example, this one, and I need to choose approvers. I'm going to choose only one approver because the directions are just the same. And after that, I need to send this request form on the approval process. You can see on approval folder, our request form moved to this folder, and the status changed to on approval. Now I'm going to log in with the approver person. In folder incoming, to approve, has got our request form. he can also open it and see the entity class name, the data that comes for approving, and approval information, for example, approval history, and he can approve these changes to CAN MDM or decline it. For example, he will approve it. The next person is the last step. In folder incoming, to confirm, he's got this request form. He can see the same information, and on the approval info, he can see that someone already approved this request form, and if he is satisfied with all these changes, he can also confirm or decline this form. I will also confirm these changes. And now we can see that in our dictionary, healthcare system type appears first record. We can see the data in this record, and we can see the history of changes and the historical data that was created automatically, and this historical data view creates on every change of this record. And this is not all. In integration IDs cross table, we've got the ID cross table link where we can see the ID in MDM system and ID in external system. It's a mapping of the identifiers for our record. Now we are going to use SOAP UI for our external system, for our subscriber system. And let's get this data to our external system. The first request is entity record list, and I need to fill the information, system to target ID, in async mode, for example, and the timestamp for our changes. It will be, and the timestamp. And let's execute it. Here you can see that in big class name, sugar model, healthcare system type, we've got MDM, MDM ID record number 3, and init system record ID is empty. It means that for our subscriber system, this is a new record. We have no matching for this record in MDM and this system. Now we can send another request to get the information, more information on this record. We're going to send entity record get. I also need to fill the system ID. I don't have system init record ID for my system, but I have MDM record ID. In our case, it's 3, and also async mode. And let's execute it. And here you can see the code, the MDM ID, and the name for our record. Now the external system can fill this information on her side, and then just send for MDM the ID of this record in the external system. And for example, we can do it entity record link. I'm also filling with system ID, init system record ID, in our case, for example, 67, MDM ID, in our case 3, and async mode. And let's get back to our ID cross table. And here you can see the mapping for our MDM ID for two external systems. This was the case of the integration and the data stewardship process. And let me show you one more thing in our demo today. For example, I want to show you how our hierarchical dictionaries can be previewed. For example, this is a global industry classification standard dictionary. Here you can see how the hierarchy can look. For example, we can also filter, for example, food, and you can see the data that matches this filter. We can switch from hierarchy to grid and see all of these records. And we can export this data to Excel like this. And we can also switch on the removed records. In our case, there is no removed records. And let's switch back to the grid. This is how you can present your hierarchical data, for example. Of course, we have a lot of different functionalities of this system, but we have a short time to demonstrate you all of these features. So I think that for today, I'm almost finished with the presentation. I will just summarize that we saw today. You just saw how it's easy to start working with our product. You just see that we configure the dictionary. The second step was the configuration of the integration. And then you can easily start data exchange using our universal SWAP web service. This is how we can preview the integration, the hierarchical dictionary, and the demo dashboards you can see in this way. So thank you very much. If you have any questions, you can write them down, and I will be glad to answer these questions.
Thank you for that story, Ludmila. It was very interesting.
Well, I hope it was useful for you to see this information today. I'm glad to see all of you on the Global Summit this year. Kana Software will be there, and we will present CanMDM. So if you have any questions or you want to discuss any opportunities, you can find us in Partners Pavilion on Global Summit.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank you, bye.